Oh, no. I'm still tired. It's break. I don't want to wake up. Speaking of the fact that it's break, this past Thursday was the first day of April vacation for me. The entire day I was looking forward for the week to be over. Come to think of it, it's the only time I've been happy with first day syndrome. Hey guys, it's Caleb. New intro, right? Looks pretty cool to me. I like how it symbolizes the whole idea of me wanting Daily Caleb to be part of your daily routine, kind of could brighten up your day. So I use the whole image of breakfast to convey that. What was I talking about? Oh, right. Sleep. Sleep is a very interesting topic, and I have a lot to say on it. Dreams are a big enough concept for a whole entire video, so I'm gonna skip over all that. So sleep? I'm gonna stop this gimmick. Falling asleep can be a really complicated process. I feel like once you're asleep, you're in the perfect position, but as you're trying to fall asleep, you can never find out what that position is. Is it this way? Is it that way? Is it this way? No, it's impossible for me to fall asleep on my back. Maybe it's this way. I mean, it's uncomfortable, but I feel like this is always the way I wake up, so how does that work? Feels like you can never fully remember the last 5 or so minutes before you fall asleep. So I always feel like if I'm even thinking of this, then that means I'm still at least somewhat awake, because I'm not in that trance they have right before you fall asleep. Unless you're filming yourself just to figure this question out, it's kind of impossible to figure out the exact moment you fell asleep. So looking at the clock is another one of those times where I'm thinking, oh, if I can still process the fact that it says that on the clock, I'm still not tired enough. It's annoying. Then your brain just starts thinking, so if I fall asleep now, I'll have 7.5 hours of sleep. If I round it to the nearest hour, assuming that I'll be asleep by then, I'll get 6 hours of sleep. And then you just keep doing that, and it's annoying because you're just making yourself feel worse. I think I've said this on my podcast, but I love sleeping in. It's such a great feeling on the weekends. 8 o'clock. I can go back to bed, yay! It's some interesting science because how long is your internal body clock going to let you sleep if you don't set the alarm? I found that out last week. It was last Friday. I believe it was the day that Memory episode came out. Well, guess my brain didn't remember to set the alarm. So all of a sudden my dad comes in and he wakes me up because I slept halfway through French class. Thankfully I didn't have that much work to catch up on, but it was annoying. I had to really rush getting ready. I didn't even do my hair just because I wanted to be able to get to my next class after that. I'm so thankful it was a day where I was at home doing school, because if I was in school that day, well, that actually did kind of happen one time. I woke up at 7-Eleven. No, I didn't wake up in a 7-Eleven. I woke up at like 7-Eleven, I believe. I was in such a hurry, and my dad also had to go to work, so we were rushing, and it was crazy. I was definitely late. Part of the reason I'm upset about that is because a lot of the time when my dad wakes me up at 6:30, he calls up to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get up in a minute. But then I just go down on the couch, and I sometimes fall back asleep when I'm down there. I'm out of bed. Anyway, those were a couple random stories relating to sleep and my thoughts on it. But, I mean, you guys kind of woke me up, so can I go back to sleep now? Thanks. It's a Saturday. I won't sleep in past 7 a.m. 7 days a week. It's still dark out. Not daylight savings time ended weeks ago. I already talked about that. Weird. I'm gonna go back to bed. Caleb out. How do I turn this thing off? You know, when I made a new friend in the studio the other day, I realized that I can have an alarm without having to look at a clock at all. Mom, 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 mom. Yes, thank you, Warp. Mope, mope.